It's complete chaos. We've probably asked about 10 different tow truck drivers where our car is, and we get a different answer every time.
Lakeshore Drive. Tonight, hours after the snow stopped, still closed, still a mess.
At the end of the day, the Lakeshore Drive decision was a judgment call.
Was it a mistake? That glaring question in what's been an otherwise successful day of pulling ourselves up by the bootstraps and digging slowly out. The city that works has to work in the snow. Good evening, I'm Mark Sapelsa.
I'm Micah Matera. Top story seen around the country on WGN America. Chicago digs out. The storm may be gone, but problems persist after the blizzard of 2011. Bus and plowing problems. Worries about the cold and clogged side roads, closing Chicago public schools for a second day. Snow removal? Crews continue to work on the city's main arteries. Side streets so far at the mercy of snowblower Samaritans. But the biggest problem of all, Lakeshore Drive. It remains closed tonight while tow trucks haul away hundreds of stranded cars.
Working through the full blast of Blizzard 2011, WGN's Dan Ponce on the drive tonight. Dan.
Yeah, Mark and Micah, Lakeshore Drive still closed tonight. Still a couple hundred cars need to be dug out and towed, a slow and tedious process. Crews have been working all day. They'll continue to work throughout the night. The goal, of course, is to get Lakeshore Drive cleared by the morning rush hour, but that is not going to be easy to do. Lakeshore Drive today, looking more like a scene from Hollywood instead of Chicago. Hundreds of snow-covered abandoned cars stretched for miles. Many of the motorists were stranded for more than 8 hours. Early this morning, about 250 people were rescued and taken to St. Joseph Hospital to spend the night, while the city began the slow and frustrating process of digging the cars out and towing them to temporary lots near Lakeshore Drive. Tonight, those lots haven't changed much. This one off of Wilson Avenue looks like a city junkyard, and its visitors aren't very happy.
It was just terrible. It was a disaster. They weren't prepared for this at all.
Many of these car owners have been looking all day, going from lot to lot, hoping to get lucky.
We've already checked at Montrose, Wilson, Foster, probably looked at about 1,000 cars, not going so well so far.
Even if a car is found, there's a chance he or she won't be able to get it out. Tonight at the Wilson lot, only a handful of success stories.
He got very lucky. You can see he's the first car from the entrance. And nobody was blocking him in. So think about it. I was able to pull up and jumpstart him too.
But more often than not, people are leaving without their vehicles. The problem is the city didn't keep track of license plate numbers when towing the cars. And the owners say calling the city's 311 number is pretty much useless.
They can't tell me where my car is. I told them my plate number, my information, but they said it's possibly here.
When we called 311 and talked to somebody, she said, well, they're taking the information, like different people are taking the information, so it's not in my system, but somebody else could have it, so call back in an hour or two. So, yeah, it's a little frustrating.
And still, the city says that the 311 number is the best place to start for people who had to abandon their cars. Supposedly, the cars were taken to different lots based on where they were abandoned along Lakeshore Drive, but as you saw, there's still a lot of confusion tonight. It will likely take days before these cars are found by their owners, who, by the way, will not have to pay any towing expenses. Mark and Micah.
Dan Ponce, thanks. Now, bird's eye view of the aftermath. WGN's Aaron Mendez.